You're listening to the Coconut Avenue Radio and Podcast Network.
Welcome to Out There on the Edge of Everything, the show that examines, helps you understand, and effectively deal with the interesting edges of life. Broadcasting now from the virtual C344 studios overlooking the edge of Coconut Avenue is your host, award-winning and best-selling author, Dr. Stephen Lesovich.
Hi, this is Dr. Stephen Lesovich out there on the edge of everything. This episode is entitled Adapting to Gradual Change. Are you recognizing gradual change occurring in your life? Let me tell you another true story. The city I live in is considering closing several public grade schools, middle schools, and one high school due to declining enrollment. Luckily, the high school I attended was not on the closing list. When I was going to school, there were junior high schools instead of middle schools. The public grade school and junior high school I attended, which is now a middle school, are on the closing list. My grade school and my junior high were named after dead presidents, Grant and Washington. The grade school I attended was just 3 blocks from my house, and the junior high was about a mile away, both within walking distance. There has been a dramatic shift in the number of students in some neighborhoods of the city, including my old neighborhood. In the neighborhood I grew up in just one square block, there were 13 households with 37 children. There were similar numbers of children in other blocks around my old neighborhood. My dad was a carpenter, and he built the house I grew up in. So the roots of my house and my old neighborhood were blue. It was a blue-collar neighborhood. My mom lived in that house until she passed away a few years ago. My mom was one of just 3 households remaining of the original 13 with the same adult parents that were living there when I was a kid. When my mom passed away, in that same 1 square block I grew up in the same 13 houses, there were just 3 school-aged children. 3. 2 of these 3 children were attending a private school with just 1 child attending a public school. The changes in my old neighborhood represent cycles of gradual change and necessary transitions. The gradual changes including the children growing up, becoming adults, moving away, their parents aging and passing away, the houses of the original households being sold to new owners with no children or smaller numbers of children. This gradual cycle of change in my old neighborhood of declining enrollments in the grade school and junior high I attended resulted in a necessary transition of closing schools. Such cycles of gradual change and transitions are occurring in your own life. How do you learn to adapt to gradual change in your own life in a positive way? Consider these 3 things. Number 1, you recognize you have been unaware of the gradual changes occurring in your life. In this stage, gradual changes are often incremental, happening in small steps over longer periods of time. You may not recognize gradual patterns of change as they slowly occur in your life. Since the changes are occurring slowly, you may just adapt to them as they occur without a full conscious awareness of the changes going on. For example, for me in my old neighborhood, there were children of many different ages that became adults and moved away. Their parents passed away, and the original houses were sold at many different times over several decades. As I was one of those children who moved away, I was unaware of all the gradual changes that had occurred in my old neighborhood. In your own life, you have been unaware of the gradual changes occurring in your personal life. Gradual changes, such as your relationship with your spouse, as you may be growing apart from each other due to changes in sexual dynamics, communication patterns, emotional connections, etc. You may have gained a significant amount of weight due to gradual changes in your dietary and exercise habits, etc. In your professional life, you may have been unaware that your satisfaction with your own job was decreasing, your current position was becoming obsolete due to changes in technology, sales, market conditions, etc. Number 2, you become aware of the gradual changes that occurred in your life. In this stage, you are suddenly triggered into a new awareness. You abruptly become conscious and cognizant of subtle and gradual shifts that are occurring in the various aspects of your life, and now you need to make an immediate positive change. For example, for me in my old neighborhood, I abruptly became fully aware of the gradual changes that had occurred over decades when my mom passed away and I had to put her house, the house I grew up in, up for sale. All of the people, except for 2 women in their 80s, mothers of the children I grew up with, were long gone. In your own life, you suddenly become fully aware that you need to have positive solutions to the gradual changes that have occurred in your life and any adversity it has caused in your life. You are now forced to step back and closely examine the gradual change that has occurred with your own personal habits, including your own physical and mental well-being, your personal relationships, your work environment, your professional relationships, etc. Number 3, you adapt in a positive way to the gradual changes that occurred in your life. In this stage, you embrace gradual change as a natural part of life. You develop an adaptive mindset for change. For example, for me in my old neighborhood, we sold the house I grew up in after my mom passed away to a young couple who were expecting their first child. Selling my mom's house ended a cycle for me in my old neighborhood and started a new cycle with new participants without me. In your life, take responsibility for who and where you are right now in your life. Ask yourself questions about your life, values, and priorities. For example, ask yourself, what do I want in my life right now? What are my own physical, emotional, psychological, sexual, and spiritual values right now? What are my own priorities right now? Such questions prompt self-reflection and help you notice any shift in perspectives or aspirations during the gradual change period. Reflect on your personal and professional life, relationships, habits, and experiences that occurred during the gradual change period. Pay close attention to all changes in your own thoughts, emotions, and behavior that occurred during the gradual change period. Schedule regular check-ins with yourself to assess various aspects of your life. Stay informed about developments in your own personal life, changes in society, changes in your professional life, advancements in technology, changes in your marketplace and sales trends, etc. This can help you recognize gradual shifts in your environment and respond to them in a positive, confident, proactive way from an empowered state. Adapting to gradual change creates a positive impact in your own life. I have written a free ebook you can download immediately to help you adapt to gradual changes that are occurring in your life right now. You can download that free ebook immediately from my website at slesovich.com. Until next time, I'm Dr. Stephen Lesovich, out there on the edge of everything.
You have been listening to Out There on the Edge of Everything, the show that examines, helps you understand, and effectively deal with the interesting edges of life. For more information on your host, Dr. Stephen Lesovich, please visit slesovich.com. For more information on prior and future shows, please visit CoconutAvenueRadio.net.
This is the Coconut Avenue Radio and Podcast Network.